Oh, O'Reilly. O'Reilly. I don't know why that shit was stuck in my motherfucking head, bro. I ain't gonna cat with you. But we're back. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being back. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for clicking on the thumbnail. By the way, I made that thumbnail personally by me. I make all my thumbnails. Goal is to always make my thumbnails. Well, especially on this one. I just think they're all like freaking badass and fucking. It's like a whole different, unique type of thumbnail because only I'm the one allowed to make it and I'm the one who created it. So go ahead and yeah, look at that shit. Cause guess who couldn't do it? You. Cause you're not me. Sadly, there's another side to that truth. Cause I'm not you, and I don't have your capabilities. So hone in on who you really are. Okay. We're gonna continue our health talks. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we love to ask yourself, right? Um, there's a plethora of questions you should always ask yourself, and that I fucking recently just fucking had to go ask myself. Fucking hit the mirror, look at myself, and be like, yo, bro, what is it, man? What is it that you really want, bro? And only I know what I really want. So, and only I can make sense of it. So try to key in on yourself and understand what you truly want. Ask yourself that. All right. So today we want to talk about mental health. Mental health. Blah, 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 blah. Mental health. We're gonna talk about mental health. All right. So I'm not gonna tell y'all niggas about your mental health because I don't know you niggas personally. Personally, I only know myself, my own experiences, and my mental health. So I'm gonna talk about my mental health, and hopefully somewhere in there through my mental health, it can help you become a little bit better at, you know, being aware of your mental health and how to better take care of it. Okay. Mental health is a multi-dimensional aspect of well-being that encompasses emotional, physiological, and social aspect of an individual's life. Keyword in this is individual's life. There's only one, an individual, okay? You are that one, you are that individual. Understand that no one can tell you what you are feeling, what you have experienced, and what you will experience and what you will feel in the future. That is only up to that individual and that individual's life. All right. It relates to the state of one's mind and ability to effectively cope with the challenges of life, handle stress, build positive relationships, work productively, and make sound decisions. Here is an in-depth explanation of mental health. Okay. So, once again, keywords in that is one's mind, state of one's mind. Remember, you are that one. Understand, for us to be able to count, we have to get through the number one. Actually, zero, because yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and leave that as a phantom number and start with one because you are that one. And the significance of being the one is like, nigga, you started the trend. You start the trend that follows you. Whatever your trend is that you start, you are the one, right? You are the one to start that. Key in on all of the things that only you have experienced, only you know, and only you can learn from. Because those are the personal experiences and the and the concepts that will help you be able to grow and maybe in turn help other people's grow. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. In the world we live in today, if you think you could be a one-man team and be able to compete with fucking multi-millionaires, not gonna happen. You gotta understand that time is so valuable. Time is actually so valuable. You have to be willing to sway people into being on your time. Isn't that what a job application is? Isn't that what a job is, being employed? You're being swayed to work for another entity, right? That will pay you X amount of dollars, right, per hour, or X amount of dollars on the salary, or X amount of commission per sale, right? Now, just like you understand the person who owns that entity or owns that business, right, was a baby once. They were a little baby that could not defend themselves, and they needed a family. They needed a village to take care of them, nurture them, teach them everything they needed to know to be able to grasp the concept of being a CEO, boss man, freaking just fucking the person that they became, which in return helped you be able to become employed, have a job, and be able to pay for whatever things you need to pay for. Okay. So the point of that is everybody starts from the same place, the fucking womb. And everybody needs help to be able to grow and age and get through all of these experiences that make them the whole individual and one that they are. Okay. So really take a minute to key in on that because you're special. Focus on that. Focus on what specialties you have, what awareness you have, what things the value you bring, the values you have. Understand that's what makes you unique and special and the one. So, emotional well being. This aspect involves understanding, expressing, and managing a wide range of emotions in a healthy and constructive way. Emotional well being includes re- resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, and emotional intelligence, which involves recognizing and empathizing with the emotions of oneself and others. So that's actually a good one because how are you able to recognize and empathize with the emotions of others if you haven't conquered oneself, you, the individual? So do your best to try to focus on recognizing and empathizing with your true emotions and how you truly feel. Don't sugarcoat that shit. Don't soften that shit. Be as raw as you need to be so people get it and understand it. And if through that expression when you get to the end of it, you may feel like you went a little bit overboard, do what every religion does. Ask that person for forgiveness. Because for that person to give you forgiveness, you have to ask them. You cannot tell them. You have to ask them, and they have to be willing from the depths of their heart to be willing to forgive you for whatever things you may have expressed to them that wasn't your intentions on how it made them feel, you know? Number two, right? Psychological well being. Psychological well being encompasses cognitive functions, thought patterns, and mental processes. It involves maintaining a positive self-image, having a sense of purpose, and feeling of sense of accomplishment and competence, competence, competence in various aspects of life. Um, Maintaining your positive image, right? One could say that's an ego, right? Because everybody knows like you can only be positive so much. And if you're being honest with yourself and you're aware that you can only be positive so much, it's because an external factor has fucked up that positivity streak. That's why it's very important to be able to decipher from internal factors and external factors, and why maybe sometimes you shouldn't allow external factors to affect internal factors. Not everything is easy when it comes to that. but it is up to you to be able to pick up on the key things that make these two separate things merge sometimes, and why it's probably good to keep them separate. I was talking to my homie the other day, and I told him, right? I told him they teach us that we're not supposed to mix business with, um, like, like personality, like your personal stuff. You know what I mean? And you should keep that separate, right? you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before you could trust a random motherfucker, you're gonna look to your family members to trust. Because them the niggas that have housed you and sheltered you up to the point of you being aware and conscious enough to know that you fucking probably feel like you hate them motherfuckers, even though they're your family members. Would you rather. Now, everybody has their own opinion. But me personally, I would rather pick a fight with my family member and fucking have so much animosity and beef to a family member than a random nigga off the street. At least my family member I've known my whole life, and I have all my experiences that justify why I probably hate this motherfucker. Dead ass. However, I'm gonna tell you this right now. The likelihood of you being able to predict a motherfucker off the street randomly that you met after 20 years of your life, after 15 years of your life, it's gonna be way harder to predict that type of person than it is your family member that you lived with your whole life, that you've been around your whole life. So I've learned sometimes business gets personal, and sometimes your personal gets business. It's up to you to be able to navigate through it and understand and find the benefits that help you grow for the better. For the better. Because the key is to become better, evolve better, advance better, be better. Ain't that facts? If y'all niggas ain't chimed in, my nigga, go ahead and focus on your boy. You know what I'm saying? We on number 4. You know what I'm saying? We on number 4. Resilience. Resilience is the capacity to adapt and bounce back from stress, adversity, trauma, or significant life changes. Y'all need to really, really tap into being resilient. Resilience goes hand in hand with adaptability. Be adaptable. Resilient individuals, keyword individuals, can withstand setbacks and maintain their mental health in challenging circumstances. I would say that is one of the most OP powers you could have been born with. Resilience and adaptability. Because if you're the individual that can withstand setbacks and maintaining their mental health to continue growing and understand that that setback was a minor setback for a major fucking comeback, they won't be able to handle you. And that's precisely what you want. You want them to know that you're a force to be reckoned with. And they should be aware that when you're there, you're someone who deserves the most utmost respect, because that is what you give. And anything less than that is less than you. And anything less than you may not be worth your time. Self-care and coping skills. Self-care is a big thing, but I never thought of it going hand in hand with your coping skills. Because do you really care about yourself if you're not coping correctly? And now coping is kind of crazy because not everybody copes the same. Every individual copes differently. So be honest with yourself whenever you try to recognize and be aware of the true way that you cope with things, especially the negative things. Mental health includes the ability to practice self care and use effective coping strategies to manage stress, anxiety, and other emotional changes. This involves knowing when and how to seek help or support when needed. That's a very good point. Never be intimidated to involve those you trust to help or support you when you need it. Just like the analogy with the baby always needed help to be able to grow into the millionaire. How many people do you think the baby came in contact with before it grew into a toddler? And before the toddler grew into the preteen, and before the preteen grew into the teenager, and the teenager to the young adult, and the young adult to the adult? How many people do you think that person came in contact with that helped him grow for the better? Understand, it's never you who makes it out the trenches. It's those around you you learn from that you use as stepping stools to make it out the motherfucking trenches. I'm so serious. This involves knowing when and how to speak, help, or support, how to speak to help or support when needed. You got to be able to understand how to ask for help. You got to understand why it's always worth being humble. There's a quick saying that goes, if you stay humble, you never stumble. And there's another saying that goes, and I live by this saying almost every day. I say it to myself. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's a golden rule. That is a real golden rule. Number 6, we have positive self-esteem. A healthy sense of self-esteem and self-worth is crucial for mental health. It involves valuing oneself, having self-confidence, and being able to accept both strengths and weaknesses. Because how are you supposed to become stronger if you never acknowledged what makes you weak? Some of these factors are what influence mental health. Biological factors, genetics, brain chemistry, neurobiology, all play a role in the mental health. Certain genetic factors may increase the risk of mental health conditions, while imbalances in the brain chemicals can affect mood and behavior. It is still up to the individual to decipher and navigate through all of that data of themselves that may be just a whole clusterfuck to become better and not take out their personal feelings on other people that do not deserve it. Maybe it's calmly assessing what makes you feel negative or positive. Because if you calmly assess what makes you feel positive, you may be able to replicate that positive feeling as opposed to replicating a negative one whenever you acknowledge that you're depressed and not feeling good, and then you dwell on it. It's all up to what you choose to focus on as an individual, your one individual. Life experiences, trauma, abuse, neglect, adverse life events can have a significant impact on mental health. Positive life experiences such as supportive relationships and achievements can enhance mental well-being. So you fucking tell me, which one would you rather want to focus on? Would you want to focus on the trauma, abuse, and neglect? Or would you like to focus on the positive life experiences such as supportive relationships, achievements, and things that enhance the mental well-being of one's true self. It's up to you. I can't make the choice for you. All I can do is tell you that you need to make the choice, and you need to be logical when you make these choices. Environmental factors. Environmental factors include access to healthcare, right? Living conditions. Both of those things can really affect, and the list goes on. And all those things can affect your mental health. Stressors related to work, finances, or community safety can also contribute to mental health challenges. To be honest with you, everything in this motherfucking world can contribute to either increasing or decreasing your mental health. Understand that your personal surroundings and your most immediate surroundings are the biggest factors in what generate your mental health and in what way it chooses to flow. Thank you. This has been a wonderful time talking to you guys. Please tap into the next video. I really want you to know that I truly, genuinely feel everything that I tell y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I want y'all to really grow with me on this journey. Because everybody has had those ups and downs, and all of us truly, mainly, more so, focus on the negatives than we do the positives. But on this journey, we're going to try to minimize all the negatives and try to only focus on the positives. As a theory, trying to, you know, prove my theory that if you focus on the positives, only more positives will follow. Thank you. Till next time.